Hi, I'm Tim Roble and welcome to another episode of Adventure Athlete. Why I'm busting down the tires right now on my Can-Am Maverick, I thought I would take you through the process of how I do it. So I got the car jacked up, got the tire pulled, and right now I'll pull the valve core out. These tires have 10 PSI in them, not crazy amount, so shouldn't take too long. And this is just a cheap little tire changing stand that I got off of eBay for about $106 delivered to the house. Once I said before, I did do some modifications to it to get the bead breaker part working. Well, I did some notches here, which allows us to swing and put it into position. So I get it positioned all the way back, and then I just simply and the hardest part of this whole thing is basically busting this bead. And we'll get these little claws hooked on the wheel. And these are rubber coated, so it doesn't really mess the wheel up too bad, but I like to kind of crank it down because we'll need that extra pressure. Now I'll take my impact, switch from my 19 millimeters, which my lugs are, to a 13. And I'll just simply take all these out. We'll remove the beadlock ring. And right now, this is the second set of tires I've had on this, so I will check this this area here to make sure everything is still functional and not dinked up. So from there, what I'll do is I'll just take this tire and I'll lift it so the tire kind of comes down in the V, and I pull it towards me. And without using any tools, I just lift up, tire comes off. Now we'll grab our 35. This wheel came off of the driver's side. So these tires are rotation wise. So we want the rotation to be this way for driver's side. We see the arrow. This little dot is the heavy part of the tire, or that goes on the valve stem. So to put these on, we'll take this, just kind of slap it on. And I'll rotate that. This would be another time right now to check rotation, kind of a big thing. Then I want to look here and make sure everything is good with the wheel. I want to make sure that this tire is sitting down below the ledge right here. And so it can be clamped down. I'll take my ring and I will engage it. Check the back side here, make sure everything's good. And set that there. Now, one of the things that I do is I use this anti-seize on the bolts. Doesn't take a whole lot. I'm actually putting a little bit more on than I normally do. What this does is just kind of prevents some galling. And my little work table here is my upside down trash can. I don't want to set up a full production deal because I don't do this type of thing all the time. Had the shop, I used to do it a lot. Now I'll take these, and once I put them into place, I want to just get one turn on them because we don't want any cross threading on this. So you put them down, make your turn. And I'm sure some people are going to have a controversial deal because I did it first of doing this with an impact and not a torque wrench. But I've lost the torque wrench. I still have a torque wrench, but I've lost doing this with the torque wrench years ago when I was mounting 49s on a crawler, and it took a lot of effort. Man, it probably took, I don't know, an hour and a half to torque everything down. So what I want to do here is I want to take this gun and I want to put it on the number 2 setting. Slows everything down a little bit. Then we'll just simply kind of just go a little bit. Trying not to get a click in. And then we're trying to tighten this down. More of like a star type pattern. You know, I find this step isn't super important, but I do it anyway. Easier to forget where you're at. Got one sticking up, one sticking up. Now what I'll do is I'll just go around, not going symmetrical, just clockwise, counterclockwise, and I'll get a couple clicks in. Start to feel everything snugging down. I usually end up making about 3 turns around this, and I'm watching the bolts to see how much they're sucking that rubber down. You can see like we're starting to get more of a symmetrical turn on each bolt. We'll call that good. Put the valve core back in. And I've been finding that these tires have been seating the bead around. Well, the first one starts to pop at 3 psi, and then the next one's at 7. What I'll do here is I'll loosen this up. Push the tire down. And then I'll just kind of lean down on the tire a little bit. See if I can get it to seat. Not a big difference. And these 35s do take a little bit of air. I think we got her taking air. So not a long process on this. It's just, and I'm doing this kind of quick and I'll say with less attention to detail than I normally do. Getting ready, I can feel it, getting ready for a bead to kind of seat there. So while I'm doing that, I'll check pressure now. See where we're at. All right, so we are right at 11 pounds. So that's over where I want to be. So I'll let this down to 10. And we're right at 10. So that's how long it takes to basically bust a tire down, put a new tire on, and get it torqued down. Now I'm sure I'm going to get some comments about not using a torque wrench. I may go look up the specs for these. I think 19 foot-pounds is what things used to be. But what I found through the years is different sidewall thicknesses of tires and different construction changes what that setting will be. So try not to get like a crazy amount of comments. You know, if you want to tell me use a torque wrench, you know, I understand you, what you're saying. I've never had a failure off-road, and I have thousands of off-road miles with using an impact now. So I'm not telling you to take the shortcut. If you want to use the impact to get stuff set down and seated, and then use the torque wrench from there, that may be a good way for a good peace of mind for yourselves. But for me, I'm not confident in what I'm doing here. So I'll go get this tire busted down or off the tire machine and then back installed on the car and do the next one. Thank you guys for watching. If you're liking this type of thing, please hit thumbs up and subscribe down below. Why I'm thinking about it right now, this tire changing machine, I give it 2 thumbs up. It really gives you the ability to do all this stuff at home. And I think most tire shops charge about $15 to do this. With a beadlock, you're probably looking between $35 and $50 a wheel, depending on the establishment. So it's a nice cost savings, and you'll save yourself in the long run. And it's the pride of doing things yourself. The vacuum just came out the door. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm Tim Roble, and I'll catch you here next time.